Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you week 2 of aABL Magma, the aDrive Army Battle League, Season 5. Coming off that rough 3-0 loss versus Ian. Definitely needed to prep a little better there, and that's really where I made a lot of mistakes, was in prep. A few mistakes were made in battle, but new week, we're going to try and pick it up here. So, as you guys can see here by the highlight, because again, aABL doesn't have the greatest of docs, but you know, it is what it is. We've got the Z Celesteela, Z Greninja, Whimsicott, Espeon, Seismitoad, Cryogonal, Dusk Noir, Mega Mane, Infernape, Hydreigon, Archeops, and Z Victory Bell. We are playing Pixarin and the Carolina Comfeys. He does not have a logo, hence the reason why there's just a random Comfey sitting on that spot. He has Victini, Milotic, Crocodile, Zarina, Frostlass, Beware, Z Electivire, Mega Altaria, Z Crobat, Scizor, and Z Lycanroc. Oh, and he does have Cutie Fly for some reason. Okay. There's a random Cutie Fly down there. I'll go ahead and show you guys the 6 I think he's bringing. Talk about why I think he's bringing them. I think Victini comes. Victini just has a very good matchup as far as being able to beat Celesteela and several others. I actually don't have Cryogonal. I don't know why Cryogonal's on there. I changed that. Let me get him switched out here. There you are. Oh, not that one, that one. Okay. Little big, little big. And still a little big. Close enough. Close enough. It's close enough. Anyways, I think Victini has a good deal of use versus me. I don't have a very solid check switch into it. I really don't have a check into Victini, to be perfectly honest. Mega Altaria is always a threat. I think it can put in a lot of work versus me. Milotic is a good defensive check. Checks my Infernape. Can check Steela, can check, it can check a lot defensively, unless I bring Mega Mane, which, again, I'm not planning to bring Mega Mane for the second straight week. Frostlass, my team is not super appreciative of Ice-type hits. Definitely think that thing could come. Could also set Spikes for Chip to help him chip things. Lycanroc seems like a pretty good bring versus Celesteela, Infernape. Drill Run will take out Mega Mane. Like a Scarf Lycanroc can be really, really bad. And then a setup Scizor can do a lot of work versus me. Technician boosted Bug move will hurt Hydreigon. Technician boosted Bullet Punch is always good. Or Vacuum Wave. Or I don't think it gets Vacuum Wave, but Scizor can put in a lot of work. Other things I see coming, Zarina could come. It's a pretty good defensive check. Maybe Electivire. It's a pretty good check. Since I am dual water plus plus Mega Mane, could give it a motor drive boost, plus Celesteela won't necessarily appreciate it. So definitely could see that coming, any one of those combinations. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into the team builder then. So starting off, we are bringing Seismitoad again, Rocky Helmet. This time we are Water Absorb. That was one of those crucial mistakes I made last week, was not bringing Water Absorb, even though I didn't feel like either one of his... Hang on. Yeah, I'm recording. Can I help you?
What?
I'm recording. Can I help you?
Is your mom in the shower?
I don't know where she's at.
Excuse me, the truck from
She's probably outside. Sorry about that. That was my dad calling, needing something. So, anyways, Seismitoad Water Absorb, because last week that was a crucial mistake on my part, not bringing Water Absorb, even though he had 2 water types, even though I didn't think they were coming. Water Absorb was the best ability, because Poison Touch did me nothing, and I wasn't Swift Swim, so there was no reason not to bring Water Absorb. But I was carrying Stealth Rocks, Poison Jab, I'm carrying Stealth Rocks, Poison Jab, Earthquake, and Rock Tomb. Getting rocks up is really, really nice. For Chip, Altaria pre-Mega takes a hit. If that Frostlass comes, it takes a hit. Victini takes a big hit from it. Constantly having to check into rocks. Rocks is just really, 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 really good. Crobat, if it decides to come, won't want to take rock hits multiple times. So having rocks up is pretty good. I think this is probably my lead. Unless I have to be careful because Victini could be like special with Grass Knot or something, but I think Seismitoad Rock lead is good. This thing checks into like a standard defensive, like Scald, Toxic, Recover, Haze, Milotic, because it can only hit me with Toxic or Scald. Poison Jab is for a Zarina switch in. With my attack spread, I 2-shot Zarina, so Zarina can't switch in multiple times unless it's carrying something like Synthesis. Poison Jab 2-shots the Mega Altaria. We are pretty bulky, so we can take a hit from the Mega Altaria and then 2-shot it with Poison Jab. Earthquake is for Lycanroc, or Victini, potentially, to catch that. Yeah, Earthquake's just there for some stab. And then Rock Tomb. So if it comes down to where he has to bring in Altaria versus this thing, like if Altaria is his best check to this, then if I can just drop a Rock Tomb, I can speed control him that way and keep him slower, which would be pretty clutch. But that's why I'm Rock Tomb, is just to speed check that Altaria. Bulk and attack, like I said, 2-shot with Poison Jab on a lot of things. Bulk to live some hits. We are Choice Scarfed Hydreigon, not carrying a Dark or a Dragon type move. We are strictly carrying coverage in Flash Cannon, Earth Power, Flamethrower, and U-Turn. Flash Cannon is for the Mega Altaria trying to check in on this thing. I 2-shot and I outspeed at +2 with this Hydreigon. Earth Power is for potentially Victini carrying D-Gleam trying to check in. I outspeed the Victini unless it's Scarfed Victini. That's the only way I wouldn't outspeed it, is if it's Scarfed. But then I can EP and 2-shot it. If that's going to be what switches in. Flamethrower is for the Frostlass if it wants to try and check in on me. It's also for Scissor, because Scissor very well could be a check to this thing with Technician or Technician Bug Bite or something else. So if I could get the Scissor with a Flamethrower, that'd be great. Probably burn an Ockaberry there and allow Infinite to OHKO it later. And then U-Turn. I'm going to be clicking U-Turn most of the time with Hydreigon until I feel out what he's going to be switching in on me. Just so I'm not choice locked and then forced to switch and take damage on something. I can just pivot on switches. That way I can kind of feel him out a little bit. That's why we're speed. I need to be modest so I can 2-shot, potentially OHKO several things. And then the rest just went into bulk. We are Celesteela here with Ground Z. This is a very interesting EV spread, I think, anyways. Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Sub, Air Slash. The goal is when this thing comes in to click Sub right away before one of its checks comes in, its main checks being Victini. If that Electivire wants to come, it can check. Lycanroc can two-shot with Stone Edge. Crocodile, if it wants to carry a rock move, like Stone Edge, could two-shot me. But if I can get behind a sub, I can at least avoid taking massive amounts of damage. And then most of those mons don't want to take a Earthquake from me. Particularly a Ground Z Earthquake. Victini doesn't want to take a straight Earthquake. Electivire, well, no. Victini doesn't want to take a Ground Z Earthquake. Electivire doesn't want to take a standard EQ. Lycanroc doesn't want to take a standard EQ. So if I can get behind the sub, if I sub and draw the Victini in, I immediately click the Ground Z Earthquake. And then Victini's gone. And at that point, depending on the rest of his team comp, unless he's got Electivire, Celesteela can actually just win this game. Especially because it'll get an attack boost at +1 attack, Heavy Slam Oko's Altaria, and he'd have to be mixed Altaria with Flamethrower or with Fire Blast in order to beat Celesteela. It's possible he brings mixed, but then if he brings mixed and not the D-Dance set, I beat him so many other ways. So Altaria's kind of pressured a little bit into a funny spot. Heavy Slam, like the only thing that really checks in on this would be Zarina at that point. Because Scissor doesn't want to take multiple Heavy Slams or EQs. Frostlass doesn't take a Heavy Slam. Once I start getting attack boosts, my Milotic doesn't want to take hits from this thing. And really all my Milotic could do would be phase me with Dragon Tail or try to Scald Burn me. And I have Air Slash specifically for that Zarina, because otherwise, the original I was Sub-Seed, Quake, Slam, but then Zarina comes in and it just walls me, or it can use me as setup fodder to set up Swords Dances if it wants to be an offensive attacking type of Zarina. And Zarina is very, very thick on the defensive side. So having Air Slash to make me mixed is why I am carrying that. The 192 Brave, and why am I Brave? Negative speed plus I put a bunch of speed Eves in there. I don't want to drop my defense or special defense. I need that bulk. So the 192 was all I needed to Oko. Unboosted Oko Mega Altaria with Heavy Slam. I'm guaranteed to Oko it with that. The amount of HP I've given myself allows me to live a Fire Blast from a mixed Altaria as well. I don't live a hit from Electivire, unfortunately. Hopefully I don't see it. It could come, but I really don't think it's going to. The 88 Spadef plus the 168 HP was what I needed to live the Fire Blast. Obviously, Victini is a very good check to this thing. That's why I got to get behind a sub. Like, lead Victini is a really, really problem for me. Especially if he's not choice locked. That becomes a real issue for me. The reason why I am negative speed nature is, again, I didn't want to lower my defenses. I'm mixed because I'm carrying Air Slash, so I didn't want to get rid of my special attack. So with the extra 60 EVs, instead of throwing it into defense, which made very little difference whether or not I lived a hit from Victini or Electivire, I went negative speed nature and threw it back, threw the 60 back, because base is 158. 60 minus 155. So I lose 3 speed points, but I'm not chinking my defense in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, this Celesteela is offensive and designed to handle the Mega Altaria unless it gets 2 shots off on me for some reason. I don't, yeah, Heavy Slam can't miss, so Air Slash can miss, right? Yeah, so. We are bringing Archeops again, this time Citrus Berry instead of Bandit, with Defeatist. The way I understand how Defeatist works is when you drop below half, your attack and defense, or attack and special attack, are cut in half. But if you go above 50, it should reset back to normal. It's how I remember it, but I'm probably wrong there. So watch that probably come back to bite me in the butt. But I'm Citrus Berry, that way when I head smash, if I take 50% recoil and drop myself to Defeatist, I'd Citrus Berry back to 75% and not have to be in Defeatist range, and it'd allow me to fire off one more really massive head smash, because my Lodic and Zarina are the only two things that really want to take head smashes on his team. The rest of his team doesn't want to get head smashed. That Citrus Berry would give me the Acro boost. The Acro is enough to two-shot a Zarina. I can U-turn around. I am carrying U-turn on this Hydreigon. I believe Greninja as well, because I want to pivot. I want to be able to pivot around, especially with the fact that Hydreigon's choice locked, and when I get to Greninja, Greninja is also choice locked. So being able to pivot around and keep momentum going on my side is huge for me. And then Earthquake just really puts in a lot of damage across his team. And it's also something that I don't necessarily have to head smash. If I know Victini's coming in on this thing, for some reason, I just EQ and that takes it out. EQ is basically there to prevent me from double head smashing unless I'm forced to double head smash, because once I go into Defeatist range, I'm toast. This speed allows me to outspeed banded Victini, so it'll help me check if Victini's banded or scarfed. 24 defense was just the extra defense, like there was extra EVs after I boosted my HP, and this attack stat is all I need to OHKO or 2KO with everything, so there was no reason to go full attack. It let me get some bulk, and allows me to potentially, if he's banded Victini, I don't live Bolt Strike. If he's Scarfed Victini, there's the slimmest of chances that I live it. If he's not banded Electivire or attack boosting Electivire, I have a chance to live the Wild Charge. Infinite Peer, Life Orb, Iron Fist, very, very similar to last week as far as item and ability and some of the moves are. I am not carrying a fighting type move. I debated back and forth about carrying a fighting type move, solely because actually, no, I didn't debate. Yeah, I did debate carrying a fire type move. Solely because this draws Lycanroc really, really fast. Or Scarfed Crook can get drawn in on me really, really fast. Granted, a Flare Blitz hurts, but similar to Celesteela, when Infernape's in, the goal is to SD on whatever switch in, because at an SD with the Life Orb, I kill my Lodic on a 2, I kill my Lodic, and I'm bulky enough that I don't die to a Scald. I'll double check that here, so I'm not talking out my butt. Infernape. Custom set versus my Lodic. Defensive. Yeah, I live the Scald, and at +2, it's a 2-shot. And even if he's burned at +2, it's still a 2-shot. If he's the Flame Orb variant instead of lefties. Thunder Punch is still a 2-shot. Yeah, Infernape's going to rack up a ton of damage from the Scald, but it's still going to take it down. The Flare Blitz, just a +2 Life Orb Flare Blitz. What really checks into that very well? The answer is not a lot. Poison Jab is there because this probably draws Altaria in as well. Barring me having like this or Iron Tail. Which, why would I carry this just for Mega Altaria? Mega Altaria can use me as setup fodder, or if it's standard D-Dance, it just EQs. It D-Dances, then EQs and sweeps. Poison Jab, on the other hand, at +2 versus Altaria. Just the standard D-Dance set. Yeah, like EQ is a 2-shot. Return's a 2-shot. But I'm IV'd at +2, that poison jab's an automatic kill. So again, I SD pretty much, depending on team comp, I freely SD, barring Lycanroc, I think. I think Lycanroc is the... There we go, if I could spell it right. I think Lycanroc is literally the only thing, and even an Accelerock doesn't do enough. Lycanroc's the only thing that checks in, but if he's afraid that I'm carrying a fighting type move, like Lycanroc doesn't check in. So his best switch to this is actually probably gonna be even Victini. I don't think wants to take multiples at +2. And plus I could be carrying Earthquake. So Victini has to worry about Earthquake being an option. But I two-shot with Thunder Punch. Plus then I have to switch and sack something off. But then I can choice lock him into something. But yeah. That's why I'm so bulky. And again, enough speed to outspeed Banded Victini. I'll know if he's choice locked. I just won't know which one is unless he hits me first. Speaking of choice locks, we have Greninja. So originally I was gonna bring Cryogonal, and then when I started building with Cryogonal, I realized it doesn't do nearly as much as I thought it would. It pretty freely allows Victini to come in. It doesn't have the firepower offensively for this matchup, so I went back and I was like, well, Greninja could do some work here. Greninja's a pretty good check to Victini no matter what set it runs. The problem is if Victini locks into Bolt Strike, so I kind of have to keep Seismitoad around and hope that he's banded Bolt Strike, because then Seismitoad comes in and then Seismitoad immediately starts pressuring things. Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, U-Turn, and Hidden Power Ground. His best checks to this are Victini, Electivire, and Zarina. And I have all three of those covered here. Dark Pulse is for the Teeny at 2 shots. Ice Beam will 2-shot Zarina, or almost Oko Zarina, potentially. U-Turn to pivot until I figure out what his checks to Greninja are. And Hidden Power Ground is to catch the Electivire if it's coming to try and switch in. So that's the 6 I'm bringing. Again, the 6 I think he's bringing, with the exception of potentially Electivire coming. I don't see Crobat coming. That's why I didn't prep speed-wise for Crobat. I know that got me in trouble last week because I didn't speed prep for Keldeo, and it obviously could have just run me through and 5-0'd me, but I really don't think Crobat comes. It does not have a good matchup, and the only thing on my team that can beat Crobat is Mega Mane. Crobat outspeeds everything else on my entire team, and so, like, if he scarfed Crobat, I can't beat that speed-wise without Mega Mane, and Mega Mane does not have the best of matchups here, so really, there's no point. This speed is for custom set. I believe it's to beat Scarfed Electivire. Yeah, it's to beat Scarfed Electivire, and then I believe it's to beat +2 Mega Altaria. Yeah, it's to beat +2 if he's not full Timid Mega Altaria. Because again, Ice Beam 2 shots there. But yeah. So that's going to be the team. Thank you guys for watching. Please check out the links in the description down below. Hopefully we can pick up a win this week. I'd like to get back to 500. I've lost my last 3 league matches. I lost to Ian. I lost in PCF. I've actually lost my last 4, and I've lost my last 2 in APA. So I'd like to get back on a roll, get back on a win streak. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Check out the links in the description down below. Dan's information, if you guys aren't checking him out, it's his league. Check him out. My Discord and Twitch, the WWC's Twitch stream should be happening here soon. If it didn't already happen, isn't already currently happening, it might be happening when this video goes up. Trying to think what else here. Luca, go show him some love. He's the amazing artist that does all the artwork for me. And yeah, with that, I'm out. See you guys.